live here. We just got these incredible shirts sent to us. Printed on a Gildan. This was done on the M&R Polaris right here. And it says, if you can see it, if you can't handle the truth, don't ask the question.
Yeah, but it's not broadcasting. That's what it is.
And right there.
So I don't know what I'm doing.
So we want to thank M&R. And, you know,
So I'm hearing on my headphones. It's on here. It's just not in here.
Cindy, can you hear us now?
Where it is. I'm seeing it in my mixer.
Someone tell us, can you hear us? Can you hear us now?
Okay.
We have sound now. We have sound. They can hear us now. Thank you, Chris. So everybody, it's working now, Brian.
Woo! We got it working.
Right. We don't know how.
So you know, I wasn't on the AV team in high school, right? So I played football. So
you know what? In the audience, Josh Ellsworth just showed up, and there was an aura of goodness now.
So now we got the feedback.
Now we got feedback. We're loving it. So. How about now? There we go.
I'd rather have the show than speakers.
Yep.
So
we're going to do the show without the speakers because that's feeding back.
Right. Okay, so let's officially start the show.
Well, they said guy in the center, Glenn Shaw, speak. Let's see. Say something so we know they can hear you. Can you hear Glenn? So, yeah. All right, we're going to start the show.
Yeah, so put the microphone a little closer to you, Glenn. Introduce yourself. What are you doing here? What's going on? Because we have other guests to get to also.
My name's Glenn Shaw.
Closer.
My name's Glenn Shaw. I've been in...
Close.
Okay.
I don't want to... My name's Glenn Shaw. I've been in the industry for 4 years.
No, it's there's too much feedback. We're just gonna. We have to go, so we're just gonna not worry about it, and we'll just do our little thing, and we're good.
Yeah, okay.
Thank you.
I have my right here.
I don't.
Awesome.
No, we're good.
Well, I've known
We're
Glenn for how many
broadcasting
years,
live.
Glenn?
We're just
87.
Don't worry about it. You're good. Thanks.
Glenn was. I will tell the story. When I
Yeah,
got,
but
you know what I'm going to say, right? When I got
We're good.
asked the
Thank
first
you.
right for a magazine,
Don't worry,
you know,
Tara,
I didn't
we're
think
good.
I was good enough, and they go, "What do you read? What do you like?" And this is a magazine that was called Screenplay at the time. It's not around anymore, and I just said, you know, some stuff I read, you know, guys Mark Goudray and Joe Clark, who are just titans. I'm not that guy. They said, who do you read? I said, I like what Glenn Shaw writes. It's very fundamental. It's right there to the person. And so Glenn was an inspiration to me. And they told me, and Glenn, you didn't know this. I told you this. They told me they got more response off your articles than some of the more higher technical ones. So Glenn and I, you know, are in the academy together. I told you that like a few years ago. So yeah, so I appreciate it. He was an inspiration.
Back in that day, you know, there was a lot of really good stuff. We lived through a great disruption, new technology.
Yeah.
That really took us to new levels. But
Hey,
it's
can you hold the microphone like all the way against your face?
But, you know, once again, you know, there was stuff that we could read and, you know, build strategy and shop around.
Yep.
But I was more about, hey, what can you read at lunchtime and go back in the shop the next day?
Absolutely.
So I tried to keep it very simple because, you know, I'm not a marketer, right? I'm not a Joe Clark.
Yep.
They're all mentors.
You're a Glenn Shaw. That's what you are.
So I just wanted to keep things simple, and Alan took up that type of animal, and you know, I think both are very important.
100%.
For today's reader. The in-depth stuff, and then the simple, take it back to the shop and get it done.
Yep. And you know, and then you're a great example of convergence too, because you now do not screen, you are in that digital field. And you've been that way for a while. And so you jumped into that convergence and really become an expert in a voice in that.
I saw digital early on,
Yep.
and I was like, I'm into this. I want to do this. So I was an early adopter for the distribution end. Started out with our sponsor, GSG,
Yep.
when it was Texas Screen, and you know, I've been able to touch just about any type of print, and that's what I really enjoyed about the industry.
Yep.
Pad printing, screen printing, digital printing, cut sheet, flexo.
Yep.
Hey, can somebody comment if you can hear Glenn? I keep reading the
He
comments.
said Glenn isn't working.
So can you hold the microphone closer to your mouth?
Is this better?
I don't know. You guys tell us that you're watching. No.
Oh no.
Let's do this. Let's share. I know this one's working. Let's share this microphone. We'll share that one. How about that?
Sounds good.
Well, I won't go through that whole thing again for you, but I
Sure.
will say that I'm a print guy. I love print. You know, going back to, you know, my family was always looking at specialty business, so they exposed me to printing at a very young age. Couldn't draw,
Oh, it says not better.
couldn't do English very well, so I took graphic communication.
Nope.
Glenn's still not working.
What's
That's
up
not
with that?
you.
It
That's
was,
not you, Glenn. So that's on us.
so, but they can hear me and you.
Can you guys? You know what? Nope. They can hear us. Move Glenn over here.
Hey, Glenn, why don't you sit over here?
Bring that microphone.
Yeah.
We
Man,
got it. So.
This is what happens when you have no time to set up.
Yep.
Right. Right. Can you talk?
Can you hear me?
So there's Glenn. Can hear Marshall
can hear-
and Alan, but not Glenn.
I don't know. It's through my thing here.
That's why it's just
So you can hear me and Marshall, but not Glenn. So
I put those shirts on the chair. Perfect now. There we go.
perfect now.
All right,
there
let's
we
do
go.
this. There you go, right there. All right.
How about there? We
You go.
got it.
Did we
got
finally figure it out? Everybody comment, please. Hey,
it.
Brian.
Yep. It says Greg Kitson said Glenn. Yes, they can hear him now.
Okay, so Glenn, thanks for sticking with us, dude.
You're the guinea
he
pig.
told it a whole story that nobody could hear. So
That was Glenn and I having coffee. Talking.
yeah.
So, anyways, if what you
Thanks,
didn't hear,
Dan.
Glenn Shull, I knew him back when he was a screen printing guy. He sold, he printed, he wrote articles. He was an inspiration to me. Glenn has now converged into a digital, and years ago he did. And Glenn, you were talking about the convergence that you saw digital early on and jumped right into that. What do you see now? So you've been in digital for a long time. What do you see now as the convergence?
Well, we saw in 2019, we saw the opening of Printing United Expo,
Yep.
which basically brought cut sheet into the whole digital world that we were used to, mixing screen, digital, cut sheet, flexo, digital flexo, you name it, it all came under one roof.
Right.
And I have been really enjoying that because I enjoy print of all types. So if it's putting ink on paper, putting ink on anything. We were joking last night with a new Academy member. You know, our goal is if you can hold it still for a couple of seconds, we'll
Yep.
figure out how to put an
Right.
image on it.
That's right. That's
Yep,
good. That's
absolutely.
good. That's good. So what's next for you, Glenn? Because we got to get some other guests on here. So
What's next for me? I'm just going to keep doing what I've been doing for 40 years and working with printers. Some of the best people I've ever met, and I just plan on doing the same thing.
and if you're a digital printer, by the way, Glenn is the man. You should have him help you, and I'm sure he'd love to do that, right?
How can they reach one?
How can they get a hold of you?
Oh, you can get a hold of me at what? Should I just throw my email out?
Throw it out there, man.
Okay. Email, phone number, address, everything. GLM Strategies LLC at gmshaw812@gmail.com.
That's awesome. Hey, thanks for hanging out. Appreciate
Not a
your
problem.
patience.
All right.
Appreciate your patience. Hey, we want to bring Jason Tomkins in, and who's, I guess, now with Stalls, right?
Yes, yes.
what's-
So yeah, thank you guys for having me on.
Right.
Yeah,
Thank you for your patience while we figure out what's
worries
going
at all.
on.
No, it wasn't your,
We,
wasn't your fault.
we were supposed to be in here at 11:30 to set up, and it was like
No,
there was
yeah.
other things going on, and we didn't get the,
No, we're good. It's good.
So-
Yeah. No, it's exciting. Yeah, we will continue to be Fulfill Engine. We are now a part of Group Stalls. So
Yeah,
we're
well,
super
I don't think
excited.
everybody's heard of you guys, right? You're not like a household name yet.
No, we
yet,
definitely want to. Yeah,
right? So
we've been in stealth mode for sure.
why don't you talk about what you do and how somebody watching right now should perk their ears up, because you're going to allow them to get a lot of stuff shipped and handled and be very effective with their time and effort. So what are you guys doing over there, and why did Stalls go, I think we should maybe buy them, right? Like Josh is over there going, hey, what a great idea that was. buying them. So what happened
Josh
with
is
that?
going, I wish I thought of it.
No, I mean, all the software we built was for ourselves. So we started our first company, Print Your Cause, 5 years ago.
Yeah.
We looked out on the market. There was nothing that we really wanted to use. It didn't make sense for our business. We wanted to help nonprofits, and schools,
Right.
corporate stores, and do the fulfillment on demand.
Right.
But we wanted a system that could start from top to bottom, from design all the way to shipping, right?
Yeah.
And everything we were, kind of piecing together just wouldn't allow us to grow and expand and scale
Yeah.
the way we wanted to.
Right.
And so I had my co-founders, software engineers, alongside myself, and we built our own platform.
So you're not the brainiac that built
Absolutely
that stuff.
not. No, absolutely
Not
not.
out there typing
No,
code.
somehow
It's always good to have smarter people than you work for you.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Somehow, unfortunately, I became the face, which doesn't really make a whole lot of sense, but it shows how good my engineers are.
Yeah. You're like movie star.
Oh, yeah.
So we built the software for the first company, and then as our volume grew exponentially, we
Right.
became the fastest growing company in South Carolina. We realized that through all of our own volume and the pain points that we were finding and figuring out ourselves, all the solutions we built to handle that. Well, wow, we've got a software platform now that can truly change this industry and,
Right.
and help decorators
So
and help sellers.
how does it work? Because I don't think anybody really understands that.
Yeah, absolutely. So it works in a couple different ways. First off, it's a SaaS offering, right? A decorator can use our platform to do all of their on-demand decoration techniques.
Right.
They get tools to have orders come in, different channels, Shopify integration, integrations with other e-com platforms, and our own lightweight e-com
Jason,
So you-
platform.
speak into the
Yeah.
mic a little bit.
So you could be anywhere, right?
Absolutely. And API integrations. So
Right.
we've built integrations with Printify, Redbubble, Bonfire, and the list just goes on and on. Those relationships aren't
But
necessarily
let's
ours.
say I'm using Deco Network or Inksoft or Printavo merch or whatever. Can I still use your thing?
We have plans to look into Inksoft and
Okay.
definitely Deco Network. Truly the difference between those platforms and what our software does and what it really specializes in is that so many of these platforms have come out. There's a lot of great software solutions for collecting orders, right?
Yeah.
They don't standardize the way you set products up. And so what ends up happening is those orders get down to decorators, and those decorators are stuck with 16 different systems to have to produce all of those orders. And one person set up their Inksoft store one way, and one person set up their Order My Gear store one way. And unfortunately, the decorator is the one stuck solving the problems that the person who set up the store and is selling created.
Right. So I was at the press conference the other day, and it was really kind of fun. I've never really kind of watched that before, so it was good seeing the beginning of something, and that was kind of a fun thing. There was the announcement and whatever, and normally I'm just reading the press clipping. Oh, this is what happened, but I was actually there. That was kind of cool. So how excited were you when they announced it? Like, this is the real thing.
Oh, I mean, the way I've been telling my family is like, I just got engaged. I'm young, in love, and I want to tell all my friends, and I can't. I have to wait. So it was a burden lifted off of me when we were able to make the announcement official.
Right.
And honestly, there's a reason you guys hadn't heard of us, right? We're horrible at sales and marketing. Right?
Yeah.
Like we're really bad at that.
I know.
And that's why this is just such a
Stalls
perfect
is pretty
marriage.
good at it.
They're not bad. I'd say. The master himself.
How many videos have you made, Josh? Yeah, 500 or 600 videos.
I did a loom one time.
One time. So where are you from originally, Jason? How did this-
Charleston, South Carolina.
Charleston, South Carolina.
So came out. I went to Clemson and worked at a company called Blackbaud. My co-founders from there as well. It's a nonprofit software, specializing for nonprofits. So that's where we got our initial background in, our
Right.
software and learning about nonprofits for the original business we created.
Good. Well, hey, thanks for joining us. Is
Yeah,
Josh
thank
coming
you for
up?
having me.
You coming up,
Josh,
Josh?
you want to make it a guest appearance?
Josh Ellsworth Stalls,
The man,
Hey, how's
the
it going?
myth, the legend.
the new Chief Revenue Officer.
Yes.
In charge,
Congratulations.
and
Thank
in
you.
charge. And for you don't know, that means he's the guy who's supposed to make his money.
Yep.
No pressure.
Yeah. No, never any pressure. So,
Yeah. So how's the show been?
show's been phenomenal. So, what's really unique about this show, of course, you're going to see a lot of print technology, but I've been really excited about the investment into the apparel space.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
Seeing some of the blank apparel vendors show up a lot more
Yep.
than last year.
Right.
And so a lot of momentum around that. And then the quality of the,
Frank's right there.
yeah, Frank, it's great
Frank,
to see
good.
S&S
That's
Activewear.
He's over here next.
Yep. And so just seeing that support for the apparel segment and the quality of conversations have
Right.
been great.
Yeah.
Like lots of attendees, but also some highly strategic conversation and working on developing business.
Yeah, I've had meetings and meetings and more meetings. I taught was on some panel discussions. That was a lot of fun. Both the panel discussions that we're in were standing room only. All the chairs were filled and people standing in the back. So yeah, I think next year they need a bigger room.
I'd say so. Yeah.
Yeah. So and I've been by the Stalls booth a couple times, and you guys are just packed. I mean, there's literally, I think, like 100 people at least at any given moment swarming around looking at stuff, right?
Yeah, it's been super packed. So of course the Fulfill engine, Stalls Fulfill engine has been a big deal in that announcement. But we also had kind of an equal announcement, I would say, which was the new projection technology.
I know, that's really cool.
Yeah, that goes on
So-
to the heat press.
Tell people about that, and I bet there's a video somewhere, right?
Yeah, we did a live stream. So I believe it's on our YouTube channel or LinkedIn page, basically anywhere Stalls is on social media. But basically what that is, it's a projection system. We call it the Pro Place IQ. It mounts right on top of our dual air fusion press.
Right.
And it allows the user to either upload their image through our IQ Cloud software or scan the QR code through the Fulfill engine production management
Yep.
aspect and project that image of the transfer straight onto the shirt. So you just place the graphic to the light.
And
That
what
was
I thought-
incredible. to
What
see.
I thought was
Yeah.
really cool, okay, because I was watching my buddy Dave do a demo, and
Right.
he's the best at it, right? I don't know who's better, him or Danny, right? One of the two, right?
They're both great. Yeah.
But so they were like, they got the front image, right? They got the shirt loaded, the front image, you heat press, and you just spin the shirt.
That's
Yeah.
right.
You don't even take it off. You just spin the shirt to the other side. It's got the image for the back, and you do it so you don't load the front and back twice. It's just you're loading it once, and you're in revolver mode, right?
Yeah, I think like killing downtime, right? You're passionate about that topic,
Right.
and so reducing waste in the process.
You think?
Yeah, I think
Yeah, a
so.
little bit.
I've heard that before
Yeah.
from you, and so not having to do extra steps in the process.
Yeah,
And I always say when your heat press is open, you're not making money.
that's
Yep.
right.
And so we
That's
need
right.
to figure out ways to minimize that heat press being open, placing
Right.
faster, spinning the shirt, staging better. Like that
Yeah.
operator needs that be in front of that heat press locked down.
Right.
And then the other thing is, what are you doing while your heat press is locked down?
Right.
And that's
right.
why we have the dual station. So you get the best of all of it and the most efficient machine.
Yeah, so Brian's got a good comment here. It says, we knew Josh when it was like all of us.
I'm still like all of you, believe it or not. Every once in a while, I may wear a sport coat now, but I'm still the T-shirt guy. I always say, no matter what role happens at stalls. The thing that's got me to where I'm at is understanding customers of all sizes and really relating to their business and being in their business, inside their business, understanding the problems.
Yeah, right.
100%.
And our buddy Greg was here yesterday. It was so fun seeing him.
So great.
And his comment is projection is how painters used to do large exterior graphics.
Oh, that's awesome.
Projection is how billboards used to be printed too. Billboard printers and stuff.
Yeah,
I did not know that.
Yeah, it was.
yeah.
There was a whole projection time in screen printing.
Well, 1,000 years ago, I've done sign painting in my career, and I would project the image onto a piece of paper,
Yep.
and I would make what's called a pounce pattern, which is a pounce wheel, which is like a spur, make little dots, and then I could take that piece of paper and put it up on a wall or somewhere, and then use a handkerchief with blue carpenter's chalk and push it through, and it leaves a series of blue dots that after you paint, you can just wipe off, right?
Yeah.
And that's how I could create the same image, exactly the same, multiple times with one pattern. And that was all with projection, right?
Yeah. So repetition,
Yeah,
accuracy.
it's a good thing. It's a good thing.
Good.
So what's next for you?
Execution mode.
Yeah.
It's like balls in our court right now to take this new investment that we've made into our customer success and make sure that it can be adopted, it can work, everybody can understand it, and everybody can get the outcomes that they're after. So that's what we'll be working hard on.
Yeah, and I'm gonna have to give Stalls a public shout out here. Not only do they support Shirt Lab, right, but I've got a new show that I'm doing for them called Heat Press Transformation. If you haven't seen that, go to the Stalls YouTube channel, look it up, where Dave Conner and I we go to a shop and we learn about what they're doing and we give them some recommendations, and it's a lot of fun to do, and it's love it. And we got like one more show to film this year, and then we're gonna talk about season 2, right, Josh?
Yeah. We always appreciate everything you do for the industry, and to me, it's you've been helping shops for probably decades. I'm quite sure. I don't know how many, but a long time. And so it's much more interesting, right, when you all watching or seeing another shop like yours and learning from those experiences. So we want to do more content like that.
Yeah, it's good. It's good.
Yeah, so I appreciate you. Thanks for having me on, guys.
Well, hey, thanks,
you,
Josh. Appreciate
Thank
you.
Appreciate it.
Always good. Marshall, we probably should talk about our sponsor a little bit.
Let's talk about our sponsor, and we haven't rolled our commercial yet, so let's do that real quick, and
Probably
then we can come
do
back.
that. Sounds good.
So Mark was going to come down and give us something. I don't think he did that.
He hasn't, but I have some other stuff for GSG we'll talk about later.
Okay. So Greg says Marshall Atkinson is really old.
Pouncing would seem to be something.
Yeah. All right. So all right. So here's our commercial. Thank you so much to GSG for sponsoring us, and we'll be right back in 2 seconds.
Over the last 70 years, GSG has seen many changes in the apparel decorating industry. But one thing that hasn't changed is our dedication to helping our customers discover what's next. As we continue to lead the industry, GSG is here to support your business with industry experts. The latest innovative products, training services, and by delivering the perfect order.
All right, we're back, and I want to get a huge shout out to M&R, Peter Walsh, and Maggie. They brought us a whole bunch of shirts. Like they made these right real quick, and they did a with the Polaris. They printed these with Polaris, right?
Polaris, yeah.
Yeah.
Which
And,
is all digital machine.
And Peter is such a jokester, and it was kind of funny. So he called me on the phone earlier, and he goes, "You need to come to our booth right away." I go, "What's going on?" He's like, "Just come over here." and he came over there and he snapped my picture. See me with the hat, and then of course they printed the shirts and brought them down here, and it was just really kind of cute and funny, right?
So my picture, I didn't even know it. So
you got that from the internet. You're so famous.
Yeah.
So anyway, so we really appreciate GSG, and by the way, they have a gigantic booth here, and they're really selling some stuff. I hear
they have been. We are at Easiway. We're right across the aisle from them, and they are packed. We are taking their overflow and loving it. And also, GSG is one of our great partners at Easiway, so it's been real good. They have been busy, Marshall. I mean, they have the M&R equipment in there. They got the Quattro. They have Rollins. They have Brothers. They have it all going on. They got ZSK embroidery. And the color reel.
right.
And I had a conversation with Liz Beavers there, and the color reel, they have 4 of them on a ZSK. And that is still amazing as can be to me, Marshall. What a great piece of equipment. Now, I know we had, Marshall, remember there's been some discussion going, you got to change how you digitize and things like that.
Right.
And what about
Yeah.
color bleed? I actually asked Liz Beavers about that. And here's what she said. She goes, you don't have to change the way you digitize. You have to add a couple techniques, but that's it, which is what a good digitizer embroiderers do anyways.
Right.
And when the color bleeds, like from red to blue, she said that's also easy. It's a different technique. As it's switching, you just use that red color as your underlay, and then when the blue comes on, you're going over it.
So it's basically like anything. There's a trick.
Absolutely. And she said digitizers are okay with adding techniques, but it's not a whole change
Right.
of a digitizer, which was, questions I've heard.
Right. So I thought it was their booth is hopping. I think they have one of the most popular booths here. Like there literally is just a million people over there all the time.
They always are. And you know what? They have the best people there. We had dinner with our buddy Mark Soldonic.
Yeah.
And you know what? He's supposed to be here, but he's probably caught up busy.
He's kind of busy. And so we'll get him on, and they have a contest that's coming up. And I think we're going to make that announcement when we have the stuff to show and everything, and we can talk about it properly.
I think it's been announced already publicly. So
has it?
We have, yeah. So they did that here. So here's what's going on. If you go to GSG, they have a printing contest for shirts. Go on their website, talk to Mark Soldonic. It is for GSG customers. So you have to open an account. It's on a specialty print, and it will be judged. And I think the first prize is
Hold on, I found a video on it.
Okay,
I'm going to
cool.
share the link.
And Marshall and I have been asked to be some of the judges on it. So it's good. We're going to get Aaron on in a little bit.
We're all jacked up. So come over here and I'll slide over.
But yeah, can we cue that video, Marshall?
No, I'm not going to be able to play the video because we don't know how to do that.
No, that's
right?
okay with everything here. But
So
GSG's doing that. So with that contest, look that up and we'll get you the information. And that's going to be a real cool thing. Lon Winters is there in the booth. He's printing, doing a lot of special effects, and it's just been they're just great people at GSG.
All right, so let's see if this works. So, Aaron, say something, and everybody let us know if we can hear Aaron.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Is this thing on?
I don't know.
What are we doing here?
So,
Yeah, I don't know.
so we got a little delayed today. They had somebody in the podcast area, and you guys got delayed, which made us go delay. And then, of course,
There's a
because of
domino
that,
effect.
we couldn't test any of our sound or anything, and it was just like, blah.
Yeah. The
And of
fun
course,
of live, right?
Tiara, the girl that works here at Printing United, she's really frantically trying to get everything worked out behind the scenes, and and of course she's dealing with my not as good technology as yours, Aaron. I got the cheapy version. I think I need to invest some more money with the a better gizmo.
I mean, that looks like a cool gizmo to me. I'm not familiar with that one, but
Yeah, well, this one, the problem is it had the headphone jacks and not the professional audio, the three-prong thing, whatever that's called.
XLR.
XLR.
Yeah, whatever that is.
We could have got mine.
Your
XLR.
the AV nerds, what that is. I don't know what
Yeah.
that is.
Yeah.
So anyway, so what's going on with you? How's the show been?
It's been a fantastic show. Other than the fact that my legs are exhausted and I'm a little bit tired.
This is a big place.
Hey, before we
place.
go there, Aaron, tell everybody, who you are.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah, who the hell are you?
I'm just this regular guy.
Exactly.
You're one
I'm
regular
one of
guy.
the regular guys. Yeah. So Aaron Montgomery from Two Regular Guys podcast, and I have a business consulting company called Our Success Group, and I'm just really, to be honest with you, I'm just somebody that loves this decorated apparel industry. Because we do this stuff, right? It's a lot of work. You guys put in all this effort.
You came in really from the sublimation kind of into things, right? Wasn't that your background?
Actually, no. I started in direct-to-garment world.
Oh, okay.
My first job in the industry was with Scott Fresner at U.S. Screenprinting Institute. So
right,
I sold color separation software for screen printers to start. Didn't know a whole lot about it at the time, but so I've pulled some ink a little bit, not quite to the level that you guys have been involved in it. And then I went to the sublimation world when I worked with a company called Coastal Business Supplies. And
right.
Got really, I love sublimation. I don't mean to be biased, but that's probably my favorite decorating technique.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, so.
And so now you're coaching businesses, right? And I think most of your coaching clients are just really startups, right? That's like they got an idea, they're in the garage, it's on the kitchen table. What's next? Call Terry.
Yep.
Call
Terry. Call Terry, and he'll tell you to call Aaron.
Yes, definitely. So definitely working. My specialty is in that area of the new business startups, like you said, the garage, the dining room table,
right?
Getting
which
started
is a huge chunk of these people walking the floor right now.
Massive.
Here, not so much, but
Long Beach, I guess ISS,
at other places.
Certainly Dax, that kind of thing.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, Marshall, how many people do we know in the industry that I deal with, you deal with, that they started just like that?
Mm-hmm. Everybody?
How great is it that they can get a coach to help them on those foundational?
Well, here's why it's good, okay? Because what happens, my coaching clients are the ones that they're a hot mess 5 years into it, and they've got all this equipment and all these employees, and they can't get work out the door, and they can't make any money, whatever. If you start off with a better foundation,
exactly,
which is what you do,
keyword,
right?
Keyword.
You're going to put me out of business.
No. My goal, honestly, is that they have a better foundation and then they come to you when they're ready to take it to that next level.
Right.
And you don't have so much cleanup to do. You can be more efficient with them. So,
right. Yeah. So that's great.
Not to try to put you out of business. So. No, it's been fun. And as far as the show goes, getting to be here, we got to be on a panel together. I thought that was really.
I think it's right.
Dr. Ray Ward.
Yeah.
So I thought was really fun to show, and one of the things that, and I don't know if this is true or not, right? I heard this yesterday, or maybe it was 2 days ago. There are over 80 DTF printers here on the show floor for sale. Is that true?
I did not hear that. I mean,
80?
Thinking about it, walking around and looking at every other booth kind of on this side does seem to have a DTF printer in it. So that very well could be true. That's a lot.
Yeah, and I don't know if
number sounds about right. I mean, from what I've seen, it's a bunch.
I don't know if it's true or not, but what I think is really interesting, and somebody was asking me earlier today, is like, where do you think the industry is going? I go, well, who knows? But I'll tell you what's happening is a lot of people are getting into the DTF realm because they can't find employees, and you can really train a soccer mom or a college student to run the panini press. So a lot of people are getting into print on demand, and their orders are getting smaller anyway. So I think that DTF thing becomes really attractive to folks who are trying to solve the problem. and it's just a matter of which one are we getting, and that's the big rub because there's so many. And this show next year, half of these printers probably won't be around, is my guess, right?
Yeah.
And I think so if you're looking at this equipment, to me, you need to go into somebody that's reputable, that's been around, and look at the warranty. Look, is it UL listed? What do you get with it? What's the thing?
Yeah.
How many customers do you have using it? What's the support like? If I have to get a tech in, right? How does that work?
Yeah,
So there's just a lot of stuff with that. So I don't know, and I know there's a lot of our sponsor GSG. They'll sell you them in our Quattro in a heartbeat, right? And
They have that. They have the brother.
yep, and so just I think one of the things you got to look at stuff. And Todd, hey Todd, thanks for watching. Says after sales service, right? That's super
100%.
important.
Yep.
Super important.
Definitely.
So you've been walking around for a couple of days. What's your main takeaway, Aaron?
That's a good one. That's a really good question. I think my main takeaway is just kind of the breadth of what we are as an industry. I think sometimes maybe just me feeling this way, but I know having conversations with others, people sometimes feel like, we're just the little t-shirt guys, right?
Yeah,
We're just this little, and we're not, we're part of this bigger, and to be honest with you, I think more, but not to say anything about the B side per se, but
Right.
I think the buzz over here to me has been a brighter, bigger energy.
Good. Yeah.
And so I think my takeaway has been that the industry is vibrant. I think there's lots of opportunities out there for everybody. We're faced with some challenges, obviously, in our world in general, but I think if we kind of keep moving forward and having that drive to kind of go forward, it's going to turn into, so just keep doing the thing, keep partnering, networking. I mean, that was the other thing. I mean, just lots of great, we joke, right? Oh, Q&A versus two regular, whatever.
Yeah, right.
It's all, we're all just one big happy family community.
We are.
That are if we help each other out and you guys get better, we'll get better.
We're a big tent. And
we are.
that's what I
100%.
talk about all the time. And there's some unsavory characters in every industry, but I think in ours,
We try to keep Terry under control.
Yeah,
but-
we have. Well, I wasn't going to mention any
Oh,
names.
sorry.
So I think there's a lot of
one of the bad ones. Yeah.
there's like that level of co-opetition a little bit,
Yes.
right?
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
we're competitors, but we're going to help. And
100%.
and let me tell you, because let's face it, there's no secrets. Like there's no, this is the way you got to do it. It's a dark secret. It's like, it's all about reducing variables and fixing things and really knowing where you're going. I think more than anything, right? So
Good. Greg Goodson said he sums it up.
collaboration is key.
Yep, very true.
Right.
Very true.
And so if you remember, for those of you that went to our Shirt Lab New Orleans event, Jay Basel's presentation was all about, he coined a new term. You weren't there, so you don't know, but it was called the collaboratory.
The collaborative.
So do we have a collaboratory, right?
Yeah.
What are we inventing? What's in our laboratory? We have a collaboratory, right?
Nice,
So
nice. I like that. Yep. Good. Well, this has been fun. Thank you guys for having me.
So before you go, where can they find you? Where can they find your podcast? Give it a plug.
Yep. We'll give the quick plug here to regularguys.com is where you find the podcast, and you can find me over at rsuccessgroup.com if you're looking for any help with business mindset, all that kind of stuff. My job, I feel like, is to inspire you to fall in love with your business.
That's awesome. Thank you. Thank
Thank
you,
you,
Aaron.
guys.
Appreciate
Two,
you.
two regular guys. It's always on the hour before us, so we have people that watch both.
Yep.
Yeah.
And we had talked about having you guys on our podcast, but with all the craziness, that never worked out there today.
We had big plans yesterday,
did.
Yeah.
and today it went right out the window.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. But MegaCast probably still should happen.
I think
so.
MegaCast needs to happen.
Maybe Long Beach.
Okay.
Maybe I'll buy some better equipment and learn how to use it. I don't know.
Yeah. Or maybe
Well,
we'll
good.
actually have time to actually set things up and get it working.
You think?
That'd
Just
be
do it
nice.
on their
This
own.
was
Yeah,
really
thank you.
frantic.
It was.
Yeah.
You guys did a good job, though.
Yeah. Well,
Congrats.
thanks.
All right.
Hey, you
All right,
know how
take
it is
care.
being
See you guys.
live. It's always an adventure.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah. Thank you.
All righty. So why don't we wrap up? It's at the top of the hour, and you probably got some things to do, and we got an airport trip we got to make with some crazy traffic.
Absolutely. Man, we have a lot of people that have been watching. We haven't ignored you. Sean, it was so good seeing you at the show. Man, it was great hanging out. Greg, Aaron is good people too. We have good people here. And you're one, Greg. It was so great seeing you. Marshall, should we say goodbye and mention this?
Yeah. So, all right. So there's a little backstory to what I'm fixing to talk about, right? So Alan and I are both in the Academy of Digital and Screen Print Technologies. It's a mouthful to say.
Yeah.
And so there's there was an award, right? That Alan won an award. I won the award last year. It's kind of a tongue-in-cheek award. So last year, Lawn Winters gave it to me. It's called the Parmesan Award. It was kind of a tongue-in-cheek thing about the Parmalee Award that SGIA used to do, right?
Yep.
But this is kind of like the cheesiest person in the industry. And, of course, who else am I going to give it to? I'm giving it to my good pal, Alan, right? So show the award.
The Parmesan Award.
And you can't tell that's a cheese grater on a giant block of wood.
It was created by our friend Jeff McHugh, who, incredible. So the key is when you get this, you have it all year.
That's right. And you get to pick who gets it next year.
Yeah, so this isn't really a award. I have to pick who gets it next year. It's homework. But, yeah, it was so funny. You know, your name's scratched in on here, and literally you have to put it on with my work wife.
There is no professionalism with this.
Yeah,
you can use a rusty nail. You
don't want it, but there's some great names from Michelle Kaza, the Richard Reeves that have had this. So this is mine. I have to carry it around and bring it next year and present it to somebody else in the academy.
Yeah, it's a victim.
Now I've had a couple people say, Alan, as you're traveling, you need to bring the Parmesan Award and take pictures of it. Here it is, and
And I reminded you we could do that with Photoshop. We don't really need it.
But it'd be better for his life. Like here I am at this customer. Here I am at this city and stuff.
Yeah. No, so you should do it when you go to like the cheese shop.
That'd be awesome. Yeah. Here's the Parmesan Award at Kroger's. Yeah,
that's right. Yeah, right. Okay.
But the show's been good, Marshall. It's been man, this is big.
Yeah. And hey, we got a compliment. Brian says, "Great job throwing it together today." Thanks. We'll take that because you don't know the chaos that we were under here. We had really big plans yesterday, and that it just went down the crapper. So
you know what? But it worked out. We want to thank you all for staying with us, and
thanks for watching. Appreciate you guys.
We had a person from South Africa. We wanted to mention you.
Where was that?
Much. Farther back up, I brought her up. They said, "When's the GSG show coming to South Africa?" And I'm like, "I'm there, right here."
Yes.
So, then.
I don't know about that. We can ask. My guess, Vio, I guess that's pronounce your name. I wouldn't hold my breath.
But they're expanding all over the place. So, but good. But we have people all over the world. Thank you so much for watching.
All right, so y'all have a good week, and next week we'll be back, and we'll be back in our offices and it'll work correctly. So
there's going to be a guest host. We don't know who.
That's right, because Alan's got some stuff, and I think we'll figure that out. Maybe we'll figure that out. So stay tuned.
As always.
I don't want to say any names. So,
All
right, you guys have a great weekend. I'll talk to you later.
Thank you.
See you.